Congratulations. You got invited on a podcast that your ideal audience is listening to. This is your chance to turn passive listeners into active visitors and ultimately engage leads and customers. What could be better? Well, let me tell you, what could be worse is if they hear you not once, but twice. And that's why it's important to wear headphones on every podcast interview. Hi, this is Tom Schwab with Interview Valet. And one of the common questions I get is, why do I have to wear headphones? I sound okay. Well, you may sound okay to yourself, but that doesn't mean that you sound great to the podcast listeners. And with the bar going up ever more, the quality bar going up on podcasts and podcast interviews, you want to sound great. Now, let me get a little bit techie here on why not having headphones is a problem. In audio engineers, they'll call this bleed, which means basically the audio is going to come out of your speakers on your computer or wherever you have them and come back into your microphone. In some ways, you can think of it as feedback. There's a little bit of an echo there. Bleed is incredibly hard to get out of an audio recording. And that's one of the reasons that you'll see professionals always at a radio studio, they'll have headphones on. If you go to a concert or if they're recording a record, album, digital, whatever, you'll see that they have the headphones on. Even when you see somebody on the stage, they may not have the big cans like this, but they're going to have an earpiece in, so that they can hear things and don't get all that feedback. So what's this mean to you as a podcast guest? Well, first of all, make sure you have a great microphone. And we send our microphone to all of our clients because we want them to sound great. But we don't send headphones. And sometimes people ask why. And that's because headphones are so much of a personal preference. It's important to use them, but the ones you use are really largely determined by you. So for example, I use these. They're Sony headphones. They cost about $80. What I liked about them was they were comfortable. I wear them for hours on end. So it's important for me for them to be comfortable. They also help me in that they block out the background noise. I tend to be very ADD. And if there's something happening outside my office, I could get distracted. These keep those distractions down, and also they keep my ears warm for 6 months out of the year in Michigan. But not everybody likes these. Anybody that's a really audio geek would notice he's got those on backwards. They feel comfortable to me that way, and the way my setup is, it works best if the cord's coming off my right-hand side. So purely personal preference. That being said, some women will say they don't like to wear the big cans because it messes up their hair. And now that more and more of the podcast interviews are done with video, that can be true. For me, it always causes my glasses to go cockeyed a little bit, so I've got to adjust those. So if you need to, you can use earbuds. You can even use headphones like these. The one thing that is important is make sure they're not so loud that they're coming through and going into the microphone, right? These have a lot more cushion behind them to stop that. The other thing too is when you wear earbuds, make sure that it's only the audio that's coming through. You don't want to use these as the microphone, because as you go backwards and forwards, first of all, it's not a great mic. And the other thing is, every time this microphone hits your collar or moves in any way, it just sounds really bad. So if you use earbuds, just make sure that they are connected just to the speakers, not to the microphone also. So people will say, well, do I have to use earbuds? Do I have to use headphones? Do I have to use a professional microphone? Of course not, right? You're a grown person. Do what you want, but know that the best podcasts are going to require it. Know that what is acceptable today will be laughable tomorrow. Know that people are going to be judging you by how you sound. You wouldn't show up on a physical stage just rolling out of bed without combing your hair. Well, don't show up on a digital stage not sounding great. And that includes a professional microphone and headphones. Has obscurity become your biggest problem? Stages have disappeared. Conferences are canceled. In-person meetings seem like a distant memory. Your prospective customers still need you. They still need to hear from you. Stop trying to break through the noise. It's not working. Get in on the conversation. Get featured as the expert guest on targeted podcast interviews. Podcasts are hot. Listenership is up 20% in 2020. Podcasts are the new digital stage. Leverage other people's established platform as a featured guest. Since 2015, Interview Valet has helped over 500 leading brands get featured on over 20,000 podcast episodes. You're the guest. We take care of the rest. Stop being the best kept secret. Find out how we can help you leverage targeted podcast interviews to get heard, to grow your brand, to grow your sales, to be recognized as the market leader.